Okay, Henry, welcome.
Thank you for welcoming me. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome for me welcoming you. It's good to see you, man. Okay, so I'm really excited to have you on. I'm really excited to get you because I know you're a busy young man in your life. Um, so I feel like I've known you for quite a while.
Mm.
Been about a year, right? Is it been a year for
It's
you?
been it's been over a year. It's been a year and a couple of months.
Okay. And we know each other. We have to be cryptic, obviously. I um, run a group which you've sat on for that time that I've known you, and I feel like we've shared a journey, your journey, along with other people that come on the same group. And so it's good. I've got a lot of familiarity with you, but I never knew you um, before you showed up, before you um, joined. Um, I never really knew who you were or what you got up to, but I've got a little flavor of it from what you've shared. So I
Mm.
feel like we can capture some of that, if you'd be so kind. So, excuse me. So let's start, right? So how old are you, Henry?
I'm 17 years old.
Okay, 17. Just turned 17?
Yeah, a couple months ago.
Okay. And you are someone that has chosen to change your lifestyle at the age of 16, was you, when you made that decision?
15.
15. Okay, fucking hell, man. Blows my mind. It really does. Kudos to you, bro, for that. As you know, I'm a massive supporter, advocate for you young mavericks who managed to get it. Fucking, you're smart, man. You're a smart cookie. So, I want to capture where you're at, how you got there and where you came from. So, I feel like which order do you want to do it in? Where do you want to start, Henry?
Um, I think chronological order. I think where I came
Okay.
from first.
Okay, so do you want to, should we rewind then? So where's a good starting point for you? Where do you always see your journey sort of starting? And I'm not talking about the journey of uh, coming into the solution and changing your attitude and lifestyle choice.
Mm.
It's where do you feel is the appropriate place to pick it up from?
Um, I mean, like the beginning, man. Like
Go
as
for
long as
it.
I can remember.
So what was that? What was that like for you? And where was you? How old was you? What was going on?
Well, I mean, like I said, from as long as I can remember, it was lots of the same for a very long time. I I was always really chatty and I was really energetic, and most of the time I was really happy. This is when I was like a young kid, like probably like below 7, I'd say. Um, I had a mother who didn't work and still doesn't, and is very loving, like overly loving almost, and definitely overly protective of me. And back then, I had a father who spent probably half of every year in America for his work. So it was never really sure, is he home? Is he not home? Like every night I went home from school, I wouldn't know if he was going to be there or not, unless obviously he had said, I'm going away for 3 weeks to Chicago. Um, But yeah, I was always getting told off. But it wasn't like I at the beginning I was never one who was getting like so at my school we had red, orange, green, silver, gold. Okay, so
Yeah.
you start on green you fuck about a bit, you go on to like orange. So that's like you're talking too much, you're messing about. If you do something like bang out, you go to red. And then obviously silver, you do something like good. Gold, you do something like amazing. Um, and I was always on orange because like I was never going to red because I was never like hitting people or being really mean. I was just a nuisance, man. I was always just like messing about. I was always talking when I shouldn't be. All of that stuff. And that's how it was for like basically my whole life until I started using really.
So just to interject, because I know you enough to, I had a little quiet giggle to myself. I know if like the mic picked it up or not, because I know you well enough over the time that we've spent together that yeah, it kind of like you still got a bit of that in you. I think
Mm,
I've still got a bit of that in me. I'm an amber kind of person
mm,
because I'm too smart to get the red. Like you're the same. I think you just sort of tease it. You're like you're just sitting in the cusp of like I'm just going to be a little bit naughty and a bit cheeky and a bit of
mm,
a rebel, but I'm not going to get caught out. I'm not going
mm,
to take it all the way because I just like this part. Okay, so that's a very early warning sign, maybe that yeah, the sign of things to come, maybe.
mm. Yeah. Um, and yeah, it was like that for a very long time. And I always remember like the one thing that I think it came from a place of love, but it's always been the same with my parents. Like even getting on orange, yeah, for my parents. And to this day, obviously, it's not orange anymore. But you know, getting in a tiny bit of trouble for them is like they treat it like it's the end of the world. They've always treated it like that's my life over, and like I'm never gonna make it because of that one mistake. And if I don't fix up, then I'm fucked.
Can I ask you why? Have you ever asked them why that was?
I never asked them because I don't like those kind of conversations.
Right, without sounding too presumptuous, can you maybe have a guess at why? I mean, you got any ideas why they might be like that?
I think I know. I think it's like reasonable. I think it's just because they really love me and they want me to make the most out of the very fortunate, almost head start I've been given in life because we're in quite a comfortable situation. I've always gone to like really nice schools.
Yeah,
And I think it's just they want me to make the most of it.
yeah.
So when anything goes a tiny bit wrong, they just overreact
They're, li-
massively.
they're like, Henry, don't fuck this up, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Henry, you don't do this to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right, fair play, man. All right, so carry on. So that's where you're at, and this is we're setting a scene here. So this is playing out in the school, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So it was like that for a very long time, and I've always been the same with friends. I I was never one for big friend groups. That was never my thing. I could never handle that because there are too many people, and I just don't like people that much. But
Oh,
I
whoa. Hang on. That's quite a bold statement there, Henry, man. You don't like people very much. I get you though. I
as
totally
in
get.
I one of my problems is the fact that if I'm in a bad mood or if I'm tired, I get annoyed by the tiniest things. And it takes a lot of love for some like that for me to have towards someone for them to do those tiny things and then me not get annoyed. So it ends up with me always having like a lot of like acquaintances almost, you know, like people I text, people I say hi to at school. Maybe I'll spend some time with them at school, but very few friends who I actually like try and see outside of school and try and spend time with. And it's always been like that. I'd always have like just like two really, really close friends, but always like one who was at the moment the closest one. And I just always spend my time with them. and it was always like that. Like, I mean, it still kind of is like that, except I just can't even be asked to spend time with those guys anymore. um, but yeah, that's how it always was, like friends wise. And then eventually, when I got older and friend groups became more of a thing, you know,
Yeah,
kind of like which group are you in? Even then, I wasn't really in any of them, but I was also kind of in all of them.
I relate. Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
every like break time and stuff, I just like go around the friend groups, and I'd go to the next one, and I'd feel, well, I don't fit in here, and I don't really want to be here anyway, and I'm really bored. Let me go see what's happening over there.
And are you aware, I'm sure you are now, that there might have been an element of seeking something from those different pockets of people, like validation or sort of some sort of sense of belonging or fitting in? I don't know. What was it like for you? I know what it was like for me.
So this is a bit of a fast forward. We fasting forward to year 5, so I'm 10 years old now,
Okay.
and I've just started using ADHD medication. I'm on
Okay.
quite a strong dose because I've got quite bad ADHD. I don't take it anymore, as you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I'm not. I don't have anything against medication, but it's not my favorite. I am on meds right now, but I I don't really want to be on them, so I am going off
Okay.
them.
I mean, 10 years old. Um, so that's like 7 years ago. You was
Yeah,
formally diagnosed with having ADHD, right?
yeah.
What was that on I mean, just want to land on this, right? As a 10-year-old, do you feel it was useful to go, oh, okay, this is why I'm unable to sort of do certain things in a way that people are saying, why can't you just do this? And it's like, well,
Mm.
I struggle to do that. I don't know. What was it like getting that sort of having that um diagnostic? Did it help at all?
Well, I liked the attention. I can tell you that much. Um, but it's one of those things where it made me the medication. I mean, the diagnosis. I never really cared about the diagnosis. Like that didn't affect me. What affected me was the meds I was then put on because of the diagnosis. And the thing about
Okay.
the meds was, if you're just looking at it from the perspective of he struggles at school, he's not good with attention, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Let's put him on these meds.
Yeah.
It worked. I always paid attention. I did really good work. It really helped with schoolwork. The downside was the depression and the eating disorder that came about, and just all of that stuff. Um,
And you feel that was a direct result of the side of like the
oh,
flip side, yeah.
100%, 100%.
Okay.
Um, because the days when I didn't take the medication, I was happy again. At the beginning, anyway. Like eventually, it was kind of just I was just always down.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so it was around then when I was on these meds. I was really depressed at school. I never found anything that would like entertain me almost. Like I
Hmm.
was always bored because I mean that's kind of what depression is. But I didn't really see it that way. I just thought like, oh, I'm just really bored all the time.
Hmm.
So that's why I was going friend group to friend group to see where something was going on that could like excite me or just like spur any kind of emotion in me.
Yeah, who wants to start a fire in a school field?
Yeah,
kind of,
exactly.
kind
That
of
kind of
thing.
thing. Like who wants to see if we can like kick down that door and just run away to see what happens?
Let's hide
Uh,
the teacher's bag somewhere.
yeah. Um, yeah, let's fucking vandalize the toilets, man.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
things like that. Um, but yeah, so that kind of started when I was 10, and around that age, I also started struggling with eating because I was quite a big kid.
Okay.
I've always had and still have an issue with food, like the amount of food I eat.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, so I was always quite. I feel like And I remember myself always being quite large. If you ask my parents, they'd say differently, but I don't believe them.
Have you not got photographic evidence?
Yeah, we do, and I look fat, and they're like, "No, you're not," and I'm like, "You can see that I am."
Oh, they love you, man. They're just trying to make you feel okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so when I that's also when like my eating problem started. So that's when like lots of people experience this, but like on my ADHD medication, I wouldn't eat because I genuinely wasn't hungry.
Hmm.
Like
hmm
like the smell of food would make me feel sick.
hmm
But then I started getting skinnier, and that's where the issue started. Because then I was like, "Ooh, I like being skinny.
Yeah.
I'm skinny because I'm not eating. Let's just do that more often. Let's just not
Mm.
eat very much." So I kind of ate breakfast, like a very small breakfast. I mean, eventually I just didn't eat breakfast. Like when I was 13, probably I stopped eating breakfast. Um, and then all I'd eat is like tiniest little bit of dinner in the evening, if that. Like some
How
days I
did you,
can do that.
how did you get away with? Because I know what it's like when you've got an eagle-eyed mum who cares about you and is your
Yeah.
caregiver, and she's trying to make sure you don't just fade away without, not eating. And how did you get away with that?
Well, I was always telling her that the reason I wasn't hungry at dinner was because I was eating so much at school. I was like, "Oh my God, mum, I had like 5 lunches today. I just kept going back for seconds. I cannot eat. I'm so stuffed. I feel sick." Um, that's how it was most of the time. So I'd eat a tiny bit of dinner, usually, the unhealthiest part, maybe just even some pudding.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and that's how it was for a very
Okay.
long time. Eventually, I remembered that I actually do really enjoy eating food, especially when I started using, because a big thing for me was weed and obviously munchies. So and I kinda felt like, I wanna eat, but I don't wanna gain weight. What do I do? I throw up after I eat.
Oh boy. I mean, you certainly chose the wrong drug of choice if you didn't want to eat.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, I think, like, obviously, I don't blame the medication. There were obviously issues before the medication, but I think the ADHD meds almost fast forwarded the process
hmm
of things starting to mentally. Uh,
Yeah. So like a chain of events that led from one thing to the next to the next.
yeah, exactly. I think it kind of like really kicked things off. Obviously, I think everything that I went through in terms of that, like the depression and the eating, I think that would have always happened
Yeah.
eventually. But like I said, I think the meds kind of just made it happen when I was a bit too young for things like that to kind of like they're not meant to happen when you're
Kind of
that young.
accelerated it a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of my story is the fact that these things were bound to happen.
hmm
The issue is they happened a bit too young, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're sitting here now and you're one of the gold star students, in my opinion, Henry. You really are. Um, and just in life in general, and your recovery and everything that you've gained. Just fast forwarding a little bit, we'll go back. But so I think that do you feel now you are where you're at now, and I see you as someone that's really level-headed and measured and got your shit together.
Mm,
We'll talk about that a bit more, but do you feel that everything that you're talking about in hindsight when you was young, that 10-year-old and the 7-year-old and getting from 7 to 10 and then onwards and beyond, do you feel if you could, you would change it?
mm. I think I don't think I would. I don't think I'd change anything because I think at the end of the day, where I've ended is quite a happy place.
Yeah.
Um, and personally, I don't have any regrets, and I've said this before at meetings and probably on group. But if anything had gone differently, then I wouldn't be who I am today and where I am today. Obviously, my life isn't perfect. Like there are ups and there are downs, but overall, I am the happiest I think I've been since I was like one of them 3 year olds who's just always happy. So
Yeah,
I'd say
yeah.
end result is pretty good. So no, I don't think I'd change anything.
Okay, that's amazing. I'm in that mindset too. No regrets, can't live with regret. It's a waste of time. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not the story of my past, although, I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for the story of my past. So yeah, it's focusing on where I'm at now, not where I've been.
Mm.
Cool, brilliant. Anyway, so continue your journey of progression into the void,
Mm.
if you want to call it that.
I'll wind things forward a bit further again because if I go through everything, then obviously it's going to take.
Yeah, I mean, go where you feel you need to,
Uh,
man.
so when I got to year eight, 13 years of age, that's when I started feeling like the shit. Like I started becoming a bit more popular. I started changing who I was a bit more, to fit in. Um,
How was you doing that? I'm interested to know.
um, I don't know. I was like making jokes that I thought were so dog shit that people seem to like. For example, so I just go with that. I'd just be a bit of a dick, like just the classic kind of
The
try and be
Joker.
move.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Joker.
Um, yeah, like I'd get like awful results, like almost on purpose, just to be like, "Oh, guys, look how thick I am! Like, isn't that hilarious? Like, look how much of a rebel I am."
And
Uh,
how are your parents? Because they're, from what I'm getting, they're high achievers, themselves possibly, or not.
mm,
You said your mum doesn't work, but your dad, and where you're positioned in life, they're doing
mm,
all right. You're doing all right. I mean, you are now. You're in a good school, so you've got
mm,
everything set up. Everything's set up for you to succeed. Yet you're bombing out and sort of
mm.
flipping the two middle fingers up at the system and life. How are they at this point? I mean, they must have been like, fucking hell, Henry, what are you doing, man?
Well, the thing is, in half of the tests, I would do really badly, or not even half the test. In like a third of the test, I would do like laughably badly. But then, because I liked the duality of the fact that in those tests I could be like stupid, I could be like the dumb one.
Yep.
But then in all the other tests, I was still, getting like 90 to 100% in my tests. And I just say to my parents, like, look, like I'm dropping these subjects in my next school anyway. It doesn't matter. Like I'm doing well in all the ones that I'm carrying on. Let's
Hmm.
just chill out a bit.
And are you a stoner at this point?
Nah, not yet, not yet.
Okay, all right. So can I ask this attitude you've got, because it is an attitude. I had one as well. I did well in the first sort of 3 years of my school, and then I
Mm,
got my head down, I got the job done, but my reports started probably saying the same as yours, which were so capable, could do better, out of
mm.
character, you know, needs to
I
pay
still
more.
get those. Those are still my reports.
Yes. Um, you know, needs to pay more attention, doesn't take it seriously. All the usual sort of that sort of report was coming in.
Mm,
What was my driving force behind that was um maybe it was, yeah, maybe there's some ADHD stuff in that mix, although I've never been formally diagnosed, but I know back then at that time it appears that I probably was suffering in that way.
mm,
That contributed to it definitely, but it was also a part of me that just really found it hard to be in my skin. You know, I just didn't feel good within myself. I felt really shit about myself. There's loads of, it's a big soup of stuff that was going on at that age. Plus, I'm a teenager, you know, going through puberty.
Yeah.
So that's a mind fuck for any teenager. So what do you feel, you know, can you sort of be more specific with what was the driving force behind your rebellious nonchalance? Is that the right word? Attitude? Is that the right word I'm using?
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I think it probably is. Um, yeah, I think it was just. I mean, the main problem was always just the fact that I didn't like who I was and I wanted to be someone else, to fit in, to have more friends, to be cooler, to be more like my brother. That was always a thing for me. I always wanted to be more like my brother because I feel like when you're a sibling and you're young, you could, you see your older sibling, it's like, oh my fucking god, like look at him go, like he's got so many friends, he's good at this, he's good at that. You kind of ignore everything that they're bad at. And you also
Yeah.
don't really see their issues because you don't want, like, especially from a parent's point of view, you don't want to be like worrying the younger kids saying like he's got this, like blah blah blah, this is going on.
Is it just you and your older brother?
Yeah, just me and my older brother.
So I'm the same, me too, right? So I'm the youngest, my brother's 3 years older, right? Now, when I was younger, and I'm talking like, you know, three, four, five, six, I used to look at my family through the
Mm,
lens that I saw the world. I thought I
mm,
was, I thought this lot have got something going on that I don't know about. They're in on something, you know. I thought I was like, am I actually part of this family?
mm.
That's how I felt secretly. I never really told anyone about that. I think I spoke to my brother about it. I think he might have gone, yeah, I felt like that too, actually. But
Yeah.
have you ever spoke to your brother about this or not?
Nah, I don't. I don't speak to my brother about things like that because I was never good at talking about emotions.
Okay.
I'm a lot better now, but my brother is worse. Um,
Well, you know, it's not a competition. I mean, you just gotta, as you
no
know,
competition, but
yeah.
I mean, so at the treatment center, I ended up in eventually.
Oh, I
Um,
can't wait. We'll get to that bit. I can't wait to see how you ended up there, mate. Go on. What did they discover?
well, you have a meeting with your parents halfway through where you like get all emotional with them and stuff. And then with your siblings, you do one like online
Hmm.
when you're in like the late stages, you're nearly about to leave. And the one I had with my brother, even my therapist took no, like, oh, he doesn't like talking about this kind of thing, does he? And I was like, no, no, he does not. It is not his kind of thing. He'd much rather talk about how well he played in his video game earlier, you know. Um, so yeah, I've never really talked to him about anything too emotional because, I mean, number one, I don't like that kind of thing. It's uncomfortable. Who does like that kind of thing? Like enjoys that
Yeah.
kind of thing, I mean. And number two, it would probably be quite a struggle to try and do that with my brother.
Okay.
So I
Fair.
never
Fair
ended
enough.
up talking to him about it, no.
Okay. Fair enough. So let's rewind back to because we haven't got to the this specialist treatment center for
Mm,
little fuckers like you, Henry,
yeah,
who've gone down the wrong path.
mm,
I'm not judging you, you know that.
I know, I
I'm in,
know.
I'm in your gang, mate. We're cut from the same cloth. Right, go on then. Anyway, so let's get back into it. So where was we at? You was just sort of bombing out,
Mm.
not really. You was deliberately getting
I was
shitty
just
grades.
trying to be. I was just trying to be a different person to who I was.
Okay.
'Cause I didn't think that I was good enough.
Why can I? Yeah, sorry again. Why didn't you like yourself, man? Why did you not think you was good enough? Where's that coming from?
I think it always came from a place of I'm good, but I could be better. And I think I kind of had this mentality of if you aren't first, you lost, you know?
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So I'd see like, oh, I've come second. Why wasn't I first? And the brain doesn't really get that. Oh, mine didn't. So I think eventually that just turned into I'm shit, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I didn't come first, I'm shit. I lost, I'm shit. And I think that's where it really stemmed from. That kind of like self almost hatred. It was
It,
just lost in translation almost.
yeah, so like a lacking, like a lack, less than. I feel it's a low self-esteem. It's a lack of esteem, right? And you did mention that you compared yourself to your elder brother.
Mm,
There's a bit of like comparison going on, or a lot.
mm,
You felt maybe a little bit more inadequate compared to your older brother. I don't know, but did you? So it went outside of that, it extended outside of just it being like in relation to your brother and how you saw yourself in comparison. You
yeah,
you was doing it with a lot of other people.
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense, man. I think it's quite common, you know. Are you on social? Is this a social media? Are you participating in social media at this point in your life?
Nah, not properly. I never really got into social media. It just pisses me off.
Oh yeah, nice, good answer. Correct answer.
I'll just be like scrolling through like the only reason I have like Instagram, for example, whenever I think of social media, I always think of Instagram because I think that's the most mixed between actually social and media. Because
Yeah.
like TikTok, for example, that's just media.
Mm,
Snapchat, that's just social.
mm.
Um, so I think Instagram's like where it kind of mixes, and I always think of Instagram, and I the only reason I have it now is to look at clothes because I like clothes. But like
I know.
anyone I know comes, I see them, I think, oh my god, I
Yeah.
so do not care about this party you've had. Like, please get out of my.
You're like the Hugh Hefner of the group. I always say that, and I'm saying that not in the wrong context, man. Like anyone that's listening who might know who Hugh Hefner is. No, sorry, Hugh Hefner. Oh my God, I'm gonna get a lawsuit here. But anyway, it's based on the fact you wear the dressing gowns
I always wear my dressing gown.
and you have your emblem H in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're you're not feeling great about yourself, right?
Mm,
You're not feeling great about yourself.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, and like I said, I was starting to become more popular. I was going to more parties. Like, bear in mind, I am 13. It's not like there are drugs at a party yet. But I was in like quite central London, not like central, but you
Mm-hmm.
know, I was in London. Um, so the parties were kind of fast forwarded. You know, like half of the people at like the party were always blackout drunk, for
Yep.
example. Things like that. And I always stayed away from that shit. I thought, what bums, man? What kind of guy is getting drunk or using drugs? What a prick. They're definitely going to do badly in life. um, so I never drank. I never tried a drop of alcohol. I never vaped. I never smoked. I never did any of that stuff at this time. And then I finished my school. I finished my first school, the only school I was at from like the age of 2 till 13, and I left. And I started at the new school, and it was a school that I grew to hate. One of the top schools in the country.
Okay,
Cost
let's keep the name out of it then.
yeah. Cost an obscene amount of money, um, and I'm sure it works for lots of people, but it was not the right place for me.
Right, okay, look, I need to unpack this. So look, you've got a spot in one of the country's most prestigious, I'm trying to say that word right, prestigious. Yeah, you've got a spot in one of these incredible places, right?
Hmm.
I say incredible, as in
Yeah.
on paper, incredible, right? So you're not stupid. You've managed to gain a spot there. And
Hmm.
that's got to be based on, you can't just get in there if you're like a bit of a numpty. You've earned your spot.
Yeah.
So what's the problem, Henry?
I think I always remember this because there was one school that basically everyone from my first school tried to get into. Obviously, I'm not going to drop the name, but it's another really good school.
Yeah,
Um, and everyone in the year applied, and I was one of five of the people to get in. And I don't know how, because in my exam they gave me a computer for some reason. They thought I was like dyslexic or something, and I typed my whole exam to get into this school with the caps lock on. So my whole exam was caps lock, and then I still got in. Um,
they probably
and
thought you was making a bold statement.
yeah, exactly. um, but yeah, so I wrote like so much stuff. It was just caps lock on, and I don't know. And I just, for someone who's apparently really smart, I just couldn't figure out how to turn caps lock off because
Oh, mate.
I left the exam and I said to my mum like, caps lock was on the whole time, but I just didn't know how to turn it off. Um, but yeah, so I got into that school was basically because I had a lot of tutoring up to the exams. And this was around COVID times. I was in year 7 and 8, when we were in lockdown. So I feel like
Okay.
everyone's brains kind of like dropped off a bit.
God. So you was what, 12, 13?
Yeah, around then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. COVID, lockdown.
Yeah. But I think the main thing for me was always like he's doing well, but like he's got so much potential, blah blah blah. Like he
Could do better.
could be amazing, blah blah blah. I mean that's still the case. Like I got a report from school the other day. It's the same thing. It's different now because now it's like he's amazing in class. He just does fuck all outside of class. Which is true. And to be honest, I don't plan to change my ways anytime soon. But
But you're just doing what you need to do to get the job done, to get the
mhm,
hell out of there and get on with your life, man.
exactly.
It's take what you need and leave the rest.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so I've got into this new school. And obviously I go in. And my first thought is no one knows who I am because only
Mm.
one person from my old school was going to this school, or maybe two actually. No one knows who I am. Lots of people don't know each other. Let's try and be a completely different person just to see how popular I can be. So, like, instantly I was going in. I mean, it was like I wasn't even Henry anymore. Like, I was just trying to be someone who I definitely was not. And soon after I joined that school, we moved. We moved house. We moved from London, the social, prosperous city, to the middle of butt fuck nowhere in the countryside. And I lived, and I'm still there now. And like, for example, my neighbor is a farm. Like that's the kind of vibe.
Hey, don't knock farms, man. I've got one just behind me, man.
I'm not knocking farms. I'm just saying it's not the most social
I know,
environment
I know.
ever unless I'm trying to get social with the cows
Yeah,
who live
not
next to my bedroom.
yeah. When you're 17, man, you need to be a little bit in the mix. I get it.
Exactly. And the thing for me was like, I'm finally going to these parties, I'm finally popular, blah
Hmm.
blah blah. And now, big knockback because now I can't go to these parties. I'm definitely going to lose my friends because I'm not good at keeping friends if I'm not seeing them every other
Yeah.
day. So yeah, I moved house and that was fucked. And I was so pissed off at my parents. I'm now insanely happy to live here. I think it's amazing. I love how quiet and lonely it is. That is one of my favorite things. It
So now
is
you like having a farm next to you.
now I love having a farm next to me, Dave.
Don't farms rock, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, look, man, when the cows come out, when it's that time of year, when I start waking up to all that mooing, I cannot tell you how happy I am. I
Yeah,
instantly go down to the fence and I'll say hi to the cows.
I do exactly the same. I love it. They stick their heads over the back of the
It is
fence,
so
man.
much easier to like than humans. I can tell you that much. They are so much easier.
Oh my days. See, look, you're in the what did you say? I don't think I can repeat
Middle of
that.
fuck nowhere.
Yeah, there, right? You're there. And what are you morphing into then? So anyone listening, so they can imagine you've come to this place, you're in the middle of nowhere, you're struggling to make friends. Who are you trying to be now? How are you?
I am incredibly unsuccessfully trying to be as cool. Obviously, the people who are listening can't see that I just like did air quotes with my fingers, but
Yeah.
as cool as I possibly can be. So basically, I'm trying to be a huge dick who takes the piss, doesn't listen, doesn't do work, takes the piss, is annoying, and takes the piss. That's the aim.
And again, do you feel this is some sort of um, inadvertent, unconscious way of trying to get attention or something for some reason, for whatever reason you might want to be trying to do that, or I don't know. Why are you being obnoxious, Henry?
I think it's definitely to get attention because I've
Yeah.
always loved attention and I still do. And I was walking with someone in my school the other day and I literally said, like, oh, what was it about? I was like, if I didn't get all the attention, I would not want to ever do this. I can tell you that. But yeah, so it's definitely about attention, but I think it was a lot of things. It was attention,
Uh,
it was trying to get people to like me because that's for some reason what people like. Oh, well, it's not actually, but it's what like it's how you get into like the cool group when you're
yeah.
that age. Uh,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
but it was also trying to, it was like look at this behavior, look at this person, don't actually look at me. Look at the fact that I'm getting shouted at by the teacher. Don't look at the fact that I'm really sad and lonely and I don't really have any friends.
So what you've just described there, I feel like wherever you go in the world, wherever you look, there's that person doing
Mm,
that. Do you think or did you know at the time it's sort of like it's deflection, right? It's avoidance.
I definitely did not know that at the time.
Okay.
Even if someone could have told me that, and I probably would have proceeded to take the piss out of them and then ran away very quickly. Um, but yeah, I never thought of it like that at the time, obviously. I just thought that I was cool.
I'll
And that
be whatever you want me to be, yeah. I'll be whatever you want me to be.
I soon realized that. And do you know what? It went really well for about a month, maybe. And then people realized that I was just being a dick and no one really liked me anyway. Um, but yeah, so now I'm at this new school. I've moved house. Everything's new. I don't like it. No one really knows who I am because I only show them like this like mirage. Um, and
You're lonely.
I'm incredibly lonely. I am so sad and lonely. Um, yeah, I'm very sad. I'm very lonely. Um,
And you're craving attention.
I'm craving attention, and everything I thought I liked, I'm starting to dislike. And when I say that, I mainly mean music. Music's always been and still is an incredibly large part of my life, and I was on a music scholarship at this school, and I was so happy to be on one, and this school made me want to stop being a music scholarship, and I tried to quit. Sadly, I ended up getting kicked out before I could ever do that, but,
That's a shame, man. What's your instrument of choice, or do you not have one? Are you multi-instrumentalist,
my
Henry?
favorite thing to do is sing. I love
Okay,
singing, I'm quite good at singing. I love singing.
okay,
Now, technically, my best instrument is the French horn, but I do not like the French horn. I have not liked the French horn for many years. The thing is, I started playing it when I was like 6,
okay.
and I'm 17 now. That is the majority of my life I have been playing that instrument, and I am sadly now very good at that instrument.
I'd
So,
take it. I'd own that, man. I wouldn't say sadly. I'd say that's a really wonderful thing to be able to play. I wish I could play a French horn.
yeah, but I don't know, man. It's not as exciting as I'd like it to be. But anyway, no, now, do you know what? I like the French horn a lot more than I did a year ago. If you'd have asked me a year ago, I would have told you I'm never going to pick up that instrument again.
Okay. And
Uh,
I find it interesting that you've got this wonderful, amazing, incredible instrument that is your voice that
mm,
you are not using in the correct way. You are you've kind of like morphed into you could be, celebrating this wonderful voice you've got, but because you're so, and I'm, staying corrected if I'm wrong in saying this, because you feel so lost and you don't really know who you are,
mm,
you've got this other voice that's representing you instead of your true authentic voice.
mm.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think, yeah, definitely. And one of the issues at this school was they saw the parts that they liked and they thought we're going to work on them, let's ignore the other things, and they did that in all areas. For example, um in the music department at this time I already did not like the French horn,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved singing, and they did not see me as a singer whatsoever. They never wanted me to sing at a concert, they never wanted me to sing for anything. They saw me as a French horn player, and I outwardly
Why?
disliked the French horn. Well, because at this time, I didn't really practice anything. So it was really, what am I naturally best at? And what have I been doing the longest?
French horn.
French horn. And French horn's not a very common instrument. So when a school gets a French horn player,
You're the French horn player.
I was the French horn player. Okay.
Okay.
And that's what I was seen as. I was seen as the French horn player. And I did not like that. I did not like the French horn. I wanted to be a singer. Now, luckily, I spend so many hours of so many days singing that I probably would say I'm better at singing now because I
Okay.
never play the French horn and I am literally always singing. Um,
Do they recognize you as a singer now, not just a French
but I'm
horn
at a
player?
different school. I'm at a different
Oh
school.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'd say I'm more seen as a singer because now I just sing at everything. I don't think I've played the French horn at a single concert since I've joined, and I have been in a lot of concerts.
Mm,
And when I say that, I mean like as a solo instrument. Obviously, in orchestra and stuff, I play the
yeah.
French horn. Um,
Brilliant.
but,
So that's good. That's good that you've managed to find your voice and celebrate it, and it's being celebrated by other people. So it's great.
mm, yeah. Um, anyway, I'm at this school, and the main thing about this school is you get treated like you work there. You're like you're like a product at this school, and they're just trying to get the best out of it, and then they shit you out into like one of the best unis in England. You know, it's that kind of thing. They don't really like look at mental health or anything like that. It's just okay. Let's see how smart this kid is. Let's try and get them to their full potential, and then
Mm,
let's send them off to uni. You know, and then we can put like that 90% of our students got an area above in their A levels.
Yeah, they got it's alumni. It's all about the
It's a business.
yeah,
It's just a business at the end
yeah.
of the day. That's what that school felt like. It's just
Mm,
a business. They're trying to make money. They're trying to have a good reputation.
okay.
It's that kind
And you're talking with hindsight, or are you talking from like when you was there and you was aware that you felt that this is what it was, this is like the ecosystem that you're in felt like that, and you was like, fuck this, was you were pushing back against the system kind of thing.
I'd say that I didn't understand that fully when I was there, but I definitely was pushing back because this is when I started to like mess around a lot more. So I was like
Hmm.
in detention every week.
Yeah.
I was having conversations with like lots of like different people every day. Every day I was asked to stay behind at everything. Um and yeah, I think it was just like I was just lost and I was in a place that seemed to not really care too much about finding anyone,
Yeah.
but just getting the best grades.
I went to an all boys school. It wasn't certainly wasn't one of the best in the country,
Mm,
but it was had a good reputation of being a good one in the county, right?
yeah.
And similar thing, they really focused on academics and sport and all of that stuff. Had the culture for that, which was really attractive to me. Well, the sport part,
Mm,
but like I said earlier, I got my head down, did what I needed to do. I was like you, more than capable of getting the job done, but because of my mental health was dwindling at a rapid pace outside of the school. I wasn't like you, I didn't stay at the school. But whether you're at the school or not, when your mental health is diminishing at a rapid pace, if that's not being accommodated, you know, then you're always going to be set to fail,
yeah.
in my
Yeah.
opinion.
No, I definitely agree. And yeah, so that's how that school was. And then it's October. It is 2023.
Oh, you're setting the scene now. Okay, so October 2023, 2 years ago,
I've just
roughly
turned 15.
15.
I'm in the A team for rugby. I'm a big
Oh,
guy. My dad, I never liked rugby, but I'm big and my dad is in love with rugby. He played till he was 40. He had a heart attack, so he had to stop. But, you know, it's not common that you get a 40-year-old man on the rugby pitch. Uh,
that's pretty impressive. What position did he play?
Second row lock, same as me.
Oof, you're in right in the thick of it, man. You're getting some
Yeah.
knees and elbows and
Oh,
fists in there.
you're getting the whole scrum collapsing on you.
Oh, I was fly half, mate. I was just posing. I was just posing, waiting for the scrum half to spin it out to me, and then I'd get it and quickly fucking get rid of it as fast as I could, and just look good. That's what I
Stand
was doing.
there pretty.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so I'm in the 18th rugby and we're in fucking Norwich. No hate to Norwich, lovely place.
I love Norwich, man. Yeah, go on.
Um, but um, when you're with a group of at an all boys school of wealthy, egotistical pricks, you can imagine that you don't talk about Norwich with the utmost respect. Um, anyway, we're in Norwich. We're staying in a Premier Inn. We are at for a rugby tour, and drugs are there.
Oh, hello, here they come.
Here they. This is where my story really begins, and we're
Uh,
already nearly an hour in.
oh, that's okay, man. No, it's all good. We're setting the scene, you see, because it all makes sense, man. If I didn't know that you'd turned to drugs, I would have guessed it off the back of what you've been teeing up,
Mm,
because it's the writing's on the wall there, mate.
yeah. because I
Yeah,
think, well, the thing is about like the rest of my story is it's kind of everything I've said. It's just got worse.
yeah. Hang on,
Um,
can I just before you get into this, right?
yeah,
How come you was anti? Look at all them lot doing that. They're doomed to fail. Them like drunkard,
yeah, yeah,
whatever. What? Hang on, yeah, go on. So something's flipped in you to go. I don't know about you, but for me, it was like fuck it.
yeah. Okay, do you know what? So I'm 15. It's we're on the rugby tour. We're in my bedroom. In my bedroom. We're in our bedroom. It wasn't mine.
Everyone, the whole rugby team's in my bedroom.
There are only like five of us. But we're there, and someone gets out their Benjamin. Now, Benjamin is a cart. It's a yacht. It's a pen. It's it's a THC vape.
Yep.
It's a weed vape. Um, and they get it out. People start doing drugs, and I'm thinking, I wonder if I should try that. And they're like, they look like they're enjoying it, man. So and they're like, oh, Henry, you should try it. And I go, oh, fine, I'll try it. But I'm just gonna do it this once, and then I'm never gonna do it again, just so that I know how it feels. Whew. um, so I try it now. One thing no one told me is the fact that you do not hit a Benjamin like you hit a normal vape.
Oh, you.
They're very strong. I was
Yeah.
puffing away. They were kind of chatting because they were high. Obviously, they weren't paying tons of attention to me. I was fucked. Awful experience. I hated it. About 10 minutes in, I was just lying on my bed going, oh, I want it to stop. I want it to stop. And I was throwing up for about 2 hours straight.
So you threw away, right? Did you? Yeah, that's what we used to call it back in my day. A whitey.
In my day, we called it greening out.
Oh, okay, back old school, back in the 90s, mate, in the late 80s, it was throwing a whitey. So hang on, they've changed it to green now.
Well, that's if indeed you've greened out.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, anyway, I green out. It's the next day. We're at the rugby tournament. I'm stoned.
So hang on, this is before the game.
This is
So,
the
so
night
you,
we arrive in Norwich. So
so
we have,
you, yeah,
yes, this is the night we arrive. So I get fucked up before the tournaments even happened.
like you do. Okay, all right.
As, yeah, what else would you do? Anyway, it's the next day. I am still high off my mind. And I decide I don't want to play. I play a couple games. I can't even catch the ball. Like genuinely, it was like someone would pass me the ball, it would hit my face about, and then 2 seconds after that would happen, I'd try and catch the ball. You know, and then it was to a point where I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna have to fake an injury, aren't I? So I did. I didn't play in the rugby tournament. Everyone was really annoyed at me. Um,
And you stayed in your room getting on it.
and no, actually, I didn't use it again that rugby
Okay.
tournament. Anyway, it was awful, and I hated it, and I thought I'm never going to do drugs again. They're disgusting. Look at what they made me become.
I'm never doing that again. I'm never doing that again.
The second time it comes round, okay, a month passes. We're at school. It's the Christmas dinner. Oh, my friend has a pendulum. Let's give that a go again. Now, this time I was with someone who cared a lot more about being caught. So I had a much more pleasant experience. And I was just giggling the whole time. For about 3 hours, I just couldn't stop giggling.
And was it met with um apprehension? You knew what happened last time, so did you learn from it? And this time you just took it a little bit more easy. You just had a little chuff on it.
Yeah, basically, he told me, okay, you're going to go to the toilet and you're going to take a 3 second hit, no longer, no shorter. Now,
All right.
obviously, I'm still an addict. But obviously, I mean, at this point, I didn't know that. But I go to the toilet. He was like, okay, 3 second hit. So I'll take three 3 second hits and see what happens. So that's what I do. And I didn't throw up.
Well
And it
done.
was really nice. Thanks. Thanks so much. Really proud of that, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you passed. Gold star.
Uh, and I was just giggling the whole time, man. And it was a really nice experience. And I was like, I'm going to do this every day for the rest of my life.
There you go. That's it, people. Anyone listening, this is how easy it is, man. That was it. Done deal. Done
um,
deal. Done
anyway, to
deal.
be fair, I didn't because for about 2 weeks, I didn't get one. And then I got my first one. I'm not going to go through every time I use now because that would take at least 2 weeks.
You don't
Uh,
have to. You're setting the scene perfectly, perfectly.
but anyway, I'm now using every day. I have my own drugs, and yeah, I'm using every day.
Hang on. You have your own drugs, as in you got your own
Got,
Benjamin.
got my own Benjamins, plural.
Yeah. Oh, plural. Okay. What's wrong with just getting one?
Oh well, then what happens when you run out?
God, proper, proper. You got it bad. You have.
I mean, I literally, the first time I bought a Benjamin, the first one for an addict, like it lasted me 2 months, but I didn't even buy one. The very first time I bought two, and I ended up giving one to my friend. I said, "Okay, you can have this, Benjamin. Go and get me £50 of food."
Yeah.
One stop because I was really high and I wanted some food.
That's classic. Like, oh, I better get four or two because, just in case. Just in case. Can't
Um,
just settle for one and taking it easy, and take it or leave it and do it moderately. No, no, no. You have to go all in.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And so the first one that I had probably lasted me a month. That's how long they should last you. This is a 1 gram one. Well, they should probably last you even longer than that because you shouldn't be using it as often as I did. But it lasted me a month. By the end of my using, I was using a 2 gram, so double the size every day.
Okay.
Um,
Every day.
every day I got through one,
Wake and bake. So first thing in the morning,
of course.
whilst you're
How
asleep, whilst you're asleep.
yeah, that's right. Even in my dreams, man, I was still going.
Just wake up in the middle of the night, you're like chuffing away on it.
So yeah, I'm gonna skip that using bit because obviously when you're using, everything's the same. You're
Mm.
sleeping through exams, or you're not going to the exams. You're skipping tons of lessons. You're
Yeah,
using all the time. You like you,
yeah.
you. I was at boarding school. I'd just stay in my room all day using. Like I wouldn't even go to eventually.
I just because I wasn't staying there, obviously I wasn't like you staying and boarding. So I would just leave the school grounds whenever
Mm,
it was just in and out. When I
yeah,
felt like I wanted to be there, I'd go. When I didn't, I'd just walk out.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what was going on, and yeah, man, that was just my life.
Can I ask you a question, Henry? Right,
Yes,
you've turned into a wreckhead, as I like to call it.
yes.
Um, what has changed with your internal world because of it? Is,
I just thought I was the shit, man. I thought I was so
oh
cool.
God. So it's
Absolute legend.
okay, so you've got this persona that I'm the bad man, right? Yeah, I'm this
Yeah.
like little yeah, I'm the right, okay. But internally, your emotional, mental world, spiritual
Yeah.
even, was that still turbulent?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
And do you feel that the medicating that you now had, the you've self-medicated and you recognize, was you aware that you was um using it to fix, and I say use the word fix, to
Yeah.
mask any emotions that were uncomfortable, or was you just experimenting, but you in your head, you're not an addict, you're not addicted, you're just having fun.
I've
And
got a
it,
couple of things to say on that point.
go on.
Um, there was a guy. He was a really lovely guy. I think he's still at that school. And he said something to me once, and it has never ever left my brain. And I forgot everything for like this whole year that I was using, obviously. But this one thing, it never left me. And we were walking from games or something, and he says to me, because we're talking about it, he says to me, because I'm talking about how I use all the time, and he goes, like, you must be so sad.
Oh,
Oh my God, that cut. I mean, not even
ouch.
like a knife, that cut like a fucking chainsaw, man. That shit tore me up. But obviously, I was, nah, I'm not addicted. I just like using drugs. You know,
Yeah.
that
No,
was
there's no problem. There's no problem.
that was
It's all right.
literally always the answer, by the way. I just like using drugs, like you know. But yeah,
Ouch. So he saw through it. He saw through it.
yeah, and
He
that's
saw
always
you.
stuck with me. And I want to get back in contact with that guy because I haven't talked to him for a long, long time. But
Oh, I think that'd be a beautiful thing to reach out and say, do you know what, mate? That really did it help you? Do you feel hindsight?
did it help me at the time? No. Has it helped me? Yes.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, so the thing is, some people I feel uh when because I'm quite open about the fact that I'm an addict because I think, I try and be open about it because I know it's a mental health thing. It's not actually a drug thing. And I want to make sure that as many people know as possible that it's so like that we need to be more open about that kind of thing and that if something is wrong, you need to talk about it. So I'm really open about it just to try and just to see if it because I always just think if this can help one person in the whole world, then I'm happy, you know.
And that's why I got you on, man, because your message is one of like if you ask me if I'm okay, yeah, I'm fucking great, mate. I'm having the time of my life. But the
Mm,
reality is, like your mate said, you
mm,
must be so sad.
yeah, man.
And
Uh,
it's like, oh, if I want to admit that, but I can't.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
can't
yeah.
admit it. I can't admit it.
But the thing is, when you tell someone like, yeah, my drug of choice was weed, as it was for most of my addiction, it changed later on. Um, but mainly it was that. Um, they kind of think like, oh, that's not that bad. It's just weed.
Don't
But I
matter.
mean, you should see the way one uses weed. I I hated emotions. I never wanted to feel them. Eventually, I couldn't feel them anymore. That was one of my big issues when I was in my treatment center, the fact that I literally couldn't feel emotions.
Mm.
Um, and that's because the way I used weed wasn't just, oh, let's get giggly and high and eat some food. It was let's paralyze myself on my bed because I'm so high. And let's do that 24/7. That was the way I used. It was as if I
So
was here. That's how I used weed. I didn't just use weed. I
yeah.
fucked myself completely.
So let's land on that, right? Because it's interesting, right? So you paralyzed, you use the word paralyzed, really good word. Sedated, catatonic. You know how we comatose ourselves, right? Like you just use that word paralysis. Brilliant, right? And the way you described that, it's so mad, isn't it? How the first time you ever did it, you probably to some degree was paralyzed by, you know, um, I not overdosing, but you kind of did because it's the first time you've done it and you've overdosed. The dose of what your intake is overload, right? And you've
Mm,
never taken it before, and you've taken this huge amount of intake, and it's
mm,
kind of knocked you out to the point where you, like in your words, you greened out,
yeah.
right? And then the second time you did it, when you revisited it, you had a different response and relation to it. You was like, oh, I can actually use this and it's fun and
Mm,
it's not a bad thing. I just have to be more frugal with it.
yeah.
And then you started to use it, but then you just said you got
And
to a
then it was
point.
worse than the first time every time.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the progression. You've gone from like absolutely freaking paralyzed, I'm never doing this again,
Yeah.
to, oh, I can do it. I'm going to do it moderately. And in my mind, I'm going to compartmentalize it and tell myself that everything's cool and there's not a problem. But then fast forward progressively, you get to a point where you're on your bed dribbling,
Hmm.
kind of thing. You know what I
It,
mean?
like the only reason I would ever move is so that I could roll over to throw up.
God.
Like I was throwing up probably like 7 times a day, man. That was like, I mean, I got to the point because I was also bulimic at this point. So every time I ate, I would make myself throw up. I could just throw up on, like, I didn't need to even put my fingers in my mouth anymore. I could literally just go, blah.
Oh man. So Henry, it feels like this is creeping up towards a realization you might need to get some help, right?
Not even.
Oh God.
It's cooling up to the point. Okay, so we're gonna hit a checkpoint in a couple of seconds here. I'm doing this every day, 2 gram Benjamin every day, fucked out of my mind every day. Now, one of my school's big events, big social events is coming up. The Ball. Okay, it's coming up. It's paired with another school, like one of the sister schools, because I was at an all boys school, and obviously they think, okay, well, we've got to let them see some females, so let's do a ball with a female school. So all girls school, all boys school social event. I think, and spice things up here. Let's get some ecstasy. I get 8 pills. It's a Monday. I get 8 pills. Actually, no, that's not true. I go, let me try something new. I'm going to get edibles. I get 3 packs of edibles. Overall, it's 3.6 grams. Um, I eat them all that evening. Okay, the social thing is on Friday. It is Monday right now. I get the edibles. I eat them all. Oh, what a shame. What am I going to do now? I know, ecstasy. Text the guy, get me some ecstasy. And I'd been using a lot of I'd moved on to like K at this point. My main thing was K. I loved it because it was
You just casually threw that in hard. Yeah, by the way, I've moved on to getting a bit of K in.
um yeah. At this point now, my main thing is K.
All right, okay.
But yeah,
For anyone that's not sure what K is, can you just
it's ketamine.
there we go. Right, go on,
Um,
continue.
so yeah, I get the ecstasy, and obviously, what do? I use all the ecstasy. On Tuesday and Wednesday, I take all the ecstasy. I'm throwing up straight white, okay, straight white liquid, and I think that is so fucking cool. Like, wow.
What is wrong with you, Henry, to think that? There's something not right in your
Throw up straight
thinking.
white, and I go and tell my friends that, oh my god, guys, I just did the coolest thing ever. I threw up, and it was white. Isn't that sick? Um,
Like milk, liquid.
yeah, yeah, it looks like milk. And I can tell you, I was not drinking any milk. So
How's
something was
this?
going on. Now, this is the day I get caught. With my final pill, I mix some ADHD meds in. I mix some skin medication in because I had quite bad acne, so I was on that. When I say some, obviously I mean a lot. I sprinkle some K on top. Um, and I just every single pill I can find, like ibuprofen, paracetamol, hay fever meds, skin meds, ADHD meds, and I just mix it all together and I take it.
How you like? We're not trying to promote or glamorize how your methods here, but just so people know and understand, how are you? What is this? Are you making a fucking cocktail, a fucking
I
milkshake?
don't know what I'm doing, man. I don't even did anything. I was just trying to see what would happen. I was,
Okay.
in my eyes, at the time, I was just a very curious and adventurous man.
Okay.
Um, and I do not recommend what I did because when I spoke after I eventually spoke to my psychiatrist about this, the man who
Yeah.
gives me the pills. And he said, "You are the luckiest person I have ever met because I don't understand how you're alive. Because every single time you used weed mixed with the amount of medication I was on, I should have died every single time."
Yeah, it's not a good combo smoking, certain strains of, weed with certain meds. Yeah, definitely.
And he was genuinely shocked. And I still to this day find that so amazing that I'm still alive, and I'm so grateful and so happy
Mm,
because, yeah, I should be dead. And I count myself as one of the luckiest people out there because I should be so dead right now, like not even just dead, like I should be super dead.
mm.
Um, Especially after the shit I pulled mixing everything together.
So you've done this whole soup of chemicals, right?
Yeah.
How did you get caught? Who caught you?
It is lunchtime. I am sat there at the table. I cannot move. We have finished lunch. We're in my house. Henry, can you stay behind? I think mint happens every lunch. This. I think, oh, what's this about? Henry, can we go to your room, please? All right, this is a bit different. What's going on? I'm too high to give a shit. We go to my room. My matron's there. My housemaster's there. Henry, we're going to search your room. We think you might be vaping.
Is that all? They thought it was on the grounds of you vaping, not the fact you're off your noodle.
They thought that I was
What the hell?
vaping.
Okay, shit.
But I go, oh my god, what the fuck? Why do they think I'm vaping? Because I wasn't vaping, to be fair. Anyway, they go, would you like to hand anything in before we search your room? I go, yeah. And I pull out empty packs of edibles and I just go, yeah, I've got these. And they are so shocked. I mean, what do you do in that situation?
And this is just to remind people listening, you're at a very, highbrow
Yeah, yeah. Doesn't happen.
institution. Yeah, okay. I mean, it does, but very rarely do people get caught.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Okay.
and then I get tested and everything like that. And they say, oh my God, I mean, I look in the mirror, I'm pissing in this fucking cup. And I look in the mirror and I think, how the hell does this man who's like, how has he not just clocked that I'm high? He probably did. He just didn't say it because that's not his job. But I mean, you should have seen my pupils, man. Anyway,
They must have known. They must have known.
piss in the cup and they tell my parents, if he even gets a headache, take him to hospital. Like, he shouldn't be this high. Like, this isn't meant to, this, like, that's not okay.
And
Uh,
because you're away staying there at a boarding school,
yeah.
I'm going to presume, correct us if I'm wrong, that your parents are absolutely not aware that you're behaving like this whilst you're
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not. They're not.
Right, okay.
There's been a couple of instances. They know I'm a bit. They know something's wrong. They think I'm just depressed because there have been incidents where I was self-harming. Um, so they know something's wrong. They just don't.
How was you self-harming apart from taking copious amounts of
Well,
chemicals?
because the thing is, I wasn't like self-harming, like cutting my wrists and things. I was self-harming in a special, different way because I was special and different, of course.
So
Um,
explain if you would be so kind.
for example, because like I said, so the reason I was self-harming, it was mainly to get out of things actually.
Okay.
So I broke my finger in a door once because I had an exam the next day.
Oh, okay,
And I
yeah.
really didn't want to, and I really didn't want to do an exam. So I thought,
So you slammed your own
I
finger in a
broke
door.
my finger.
Okay, there's something slightly unhinged in your thinking there, bro. What the fuck?
Because the thing is, I'm too scared to go to the med center saying I'm sick because I think, I mean, I've just thrown up 20 times because I'm high. What if they
Yeah.
find out? Because obviously, I'm paranoid and I've got a bit of
Mhm.
the schizophrenia about me.
Mm.
And so, yeah, I think, okay, I need to get a physical injury. So, yeah, I broke
Okay.
my finger and then they made me type the exam the next day.
On cap lock.
Yeah, that's right. um, so,
It's my,
yeah,
that's why. That's the reason why I did it. Okay, so
yeah,
look,
I mean, I really failed on that one. I mean, I broke my finger to get
oh
out
my
in an exam.
God.
Ended up
Okay.
fine. But anyway, so
So
they know something's a bit wrong. But then they get this call from school, come to school, you need to
yeah,
get your child.
yeah.
And my mum didn't believe them when she was told that I was using drugs. She was like,
Fuck.
she thought that I was taking the fall for someone else. Like
It's
she was
such a shock to any parent when they hear that, man.
like, yeah, and oh, it was horrible. And I
And
what
how you when you hear your mum, did you when was the first time you spoke to your mum and you had that conversation? She would have absolutely 100% wanted to know from directly from you, Henry, is this true? How did
yeah,
you
I mean, I was telling her in repeat on the car journey that it's true, and she just wasn't believing me.
because she didn't want to believe it.
No, I don't
Her
know.
her amazing, beautiful angel son, Henry, has fallen from grace, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And yeah, I had an awful car journey home that day.
So you've been removed from school then?
Not yet, not
Okay.
yet, because it's a long process.
Okay.
Um, and basically, my parents are now sleeping in bed with me every night because they don't know what to do with me. Because obviously, I mean,
They're,
there's
so they're
people always say
worried.
that there's no, you don't get given a manual when you have a child,
Definitely not.
especially when the child gets expelled from school for using drugs. And basically, we're now going back to school every so often to have a meeting with the headmaster or something like that about what's going on. And I keep changing my story. I never tell them the whole truth, obviously. Um, obviously, I never tell them the whole truth because I'm scared. But yeah, so we're going back to school every day, not every day, but most days, to have conversations with the head. And eventually, my drug tests come back. Oh Lord, have mercy. Um, I was off the charts. I broke the test.
You broke the world record of drug test.
I had so much in my system that the test was fucked up. Um,
Okay.
Cocaine came up and heroin came up. I'd never used cocaine. I'd never used heroin, but
That might have Coke might come in
I,
from the ADHD meds.
yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, um, yeah, I was off the chart, and I don't really know how that works or how that happens, but apparently
Wow.
that's what happened. And at that point, they're kind of like, well, we can't really let him stay now, can we? Because they were thinking of letting me stay because I was saying, like, because they thought it was just weed. And I was going, like, oh, I'm suicidal, I'm depressed, I need to, blah, blah,
Mm.
blah, to cope. And I was being fairly honest, actually, but for the wrong reasons. Um, and then that came through, and because they have like a strict no drugs policy. So you're meant to get expelled if you do weed. But I was saying, like,
Yeah.
mental health.
Yeah.
Sadly, when you then get that kind of report back, you can't really then be like, oh, it's fine. So then I was gone. And then basically about seven therapists later. Um,
Are you messing with that number? Is that accurate?
no,
Seven.
not seven. I had, but I think I got through like four or five in these couple of weeks of different people we were trying out. Because they were all like, no, can't do that.
Yeah.
So much was wrong. And then one of them, one of the best therapists in my opinion, and I mean she is pretty like renowned, because she was my mum's therapist a while back, and we see her, and she recommends
A
uh,
place.
a treatment center,
And we won't name it because I don't want to promote it.
of course.
Just
But
to,
I'm
yeah.
there around, I'm like nearly 3 months. Um,
So hang on, right? And just so I'm clear, so people listening can be clear on this.
yeah,
It sounds like you got some willingness to want to go to this place.
I do.
Okay, explain.
Um, I've now been off drugs, and one thing that lots of people don't understand is, I mean, it's something we say, it's not the problem, it's the solution.
Yeah.
I'm off drugs, and I am the most depressed human you will ever see.
And how, just to land on that, what was your process of, because I know from my own experience and what I see in everyone else, There's no right or wrong. Everyone's got a different way of doing it.
Yeah.
You had a moment between going to this specialist clinic treatment center, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to presume that once you was back home and out of school and you had no access to get, or you could have got drugs, you could have easily got drugs, but your mum, I'm guessing that your mum and dad was trying to cocoon you to protect
You know what?
you
I actually couldn't have got drugs. You say that, but I actually couldn't.
because,
I would have. Well, because number one, I didn't realize how many things could be used as drugs. Number two, um, like I said, I live in the middle of nowhere. I can't actually leave my house unless being driven. Like literally.
okay,
Number two, I don't have my phone. Number
okay,
three, I don't have any device. I'm like, people sometimes ask me if I went to a safe house after I went to
yeah,
primary
yeah,
treatment.
yeah, yeah,
And I say I didn't really need to because my house was a safe house. Like I was locked away with no
yeah.
contact with the world.
So how was it from going from like using drugs a lot to
Mm,
you had a period where you sort of was that the point where you sort of that's your point of sobriety right there when you started your journey of recovery was is that the point you stopped?
no,
so,
I, I I made I made an error in judgment.
so because I know how hard it is, and anyone that's listening who's done this as well will know how hard it is to go from I'm using this. This is my solution. This is the solution to my problems. To it then becomes the problem,
Mm,
and it stops working, whatever. And then you have all the consequences, and like your consequences were, you get booted out of a very good school. You end up at home, but there's a period where you're not using drugs. It's quite hard. That period of not using drugs is very, very fucking hard unless you um, replace it with an alternative solution.
I've said this a million times, and I'll say it many more millions of times. That period of my life between being expelled and going to a treatment center is, and I would be surprised if it wouldn't be this, but will forever be the worst period of my life.
Okay.
By a million miles, it was the most painful, most sad, most depressing, most suicidal I have ever been. Life at this point in time was a curse. I wanted to be dead so bad that I couldn't even be asked to kill myself.
That's
You
fucked up.
know, I that's the thing because I was really suicidal, but but I couldn't be asked to kill myself, man.
Mm,
Because I wouldn't move every day. I'd just lie in my bed every single day doing nothing, just praying that I'd go to bed and have a heart attack in
mm.
my sleep. Um,
It's
and
quite a pitiful existence, really, isn't it?
it was so, so, so dreadful. And I have some trauma. And the weirdest bit is that is when the trauma's from. I
Okay.
don't have trauma from using, I don't have trauma from any of the other fucked up things that I did or did happen. That is trauma because, like I said, that period of my life was, I mean, it was terrifying. And I'm still kind of scared of it today. That, like, just thinking about that, it makes me feel uneasy because it was so painful.
So it's sort of like the no man's land between like being um removed from your reality, which is what active addiction is, and sedation. You know, that's
Mm,
removing ourselves from facing our reality because it's too
mm,
painful. And then if you're not in a solution of sorts where you're doing a daily practice of certain methods, you know, how we think, how we behave, etc., to help us with our reality, to make it manageable, you know, and that acts as the lubricant, you know, that's what helps us,
mm.
that's the solution. If we've not got that and we just go sober, You know, you remove the medications that we
Mm,
use for life, whatever they are. You're in this very raw place, very
mm,
raw. So that's the place that you was in. I know that place really well as
yeah,
well. All right, man. So you are, um, you know, there's still work to do for the PTSD there, and I'm sure you're in the solution enough to be able to work through that in the
yeah.
right way at your speed, at your time.
Do you know what? I have worked through it a lot,
Yeah,
and I think I'm in a set, like I'm in a not safe. I'm in a good place with that now. I've kind of come to terms with it.
cool.
Yeah,
I know that about you. So okay, so let's get into it because you know we've captured a huge chunk of the progressiveness of it all, getting to the point where you are now faced with the inevitable. You have got some willingness. You recognize because you're in that place you just described.
yeah.
I need to go and I need help.
Mm. And yeah,
So
that's when it happens. That is the point where I think I need help because, like I said, I did not want to be alive. But one thing about me, especially at this point in time, is I I like I mentioned earlier. This kind of ties in. I don't like too many people, but the people I do like, I love immensely. And I really didn't want to be alive. But one of the things that was keeping me alive, and I told this to my parents, was my parents and my brother. If it wasn't for them, I don't think I'd be alive today. I
no,
think
yeah,
if it wasn't for the fact that I loved them so much, I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that they were alive,
yeah,
I wouldn't be. Um,
that's beautiful, Henry.
and I realized that, and I thought, if I carry on like this, I know I'm going to do something,
Mm,
and I can't do that to my family.
hmm.
And that's when I decided I need help, and not because I wanted help, not because I wanted to get better, but just because I didn't want to do something that would hurt my family.
Yeah.
And that's in the end, that was why I went to treatment, and I was quite open about that. I was open about the fact that I didn't want to be there, and that I was only there because of my family.
So the family, your mum had there was a therapist that was already familiar to you, and she recommended this place.
Mm,
We won't name what it is because I feel it's not
yeah,
something it's not why I do what I do is to promote any place, but um it's a place that I know well, and I know a lot of people go, and it is a lottery treatment. You know, it's you've got to have a ticket to win.
yeah,
So you bought your ticket and you gave it a go, and off you
yeah.
go, right? So you've gone to this specialist treatment center.
Mm.
So how was it?
I remember going, and the first feeling I felt in that place, the first time in my whole life, I felt normal. And it was and I still remember it, the most beautiful experience ever. Because people got me, man, for the first time. Like even these therapists, like no one got me my whole life. And then suddenly I enter this place and everyone gets me. The people who weren't there are addicts, the people who are there are addicts. I just felt normal for once. I wasn't the black sheep, I wasn't the odd one out. And it was amazing. It was so, so, so amazing. And yeah, my whole experience there, obviously it was shit at times and I had tons of panic attacks and things didn't go well at points.
Because you're still a little rebel at heart, right?
Yeah, I mean, one one of my teachers said that to me the other day. They said, Henry, like something along the lines of like, "Oh, you're such a rebel," but You're somehow so charming that you just don't get told off.
I love that. That's a great combo. It's a killer combo. I feel like I've got a lot of that in me. I've got a bit of charm. But I've got a
We're
I'm
good
a
with people.
yeah, I'm a rebel as well, man. Up till the day I die, man. That's who I am,
Mm,
and I'm proud of that. And
yeah,
it's fine tuning it so it's not at yours or anyone else's detriment,
exactly. That's
right?
the one thing. Although I fuck about a lot and I don't always follow the rules, the one thing I try and make sure of is the fact that I'm not ruining someone else's time.
Exactly.
Like, or myself's time. I don't want to be ruining my time.
No.
Um, yeah.
So, so you're in this wonderful place, and you're meeting your people for the first time. The people that get you, like-minded people, and you're starting to have aha moments. I'm sure light bulbs are going off. You're getting to understand the why to everything, the
Yeah.
whys to the whats, and all of that. So, and you're meeting great people. You've made friends there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, what was your greatest gift what's the takeaway, Henry? What's the biggest thing that stand out? There's probably more. I know there's more than just one.
Um, the main thing that I took from that whole experience is that I need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
The main thing I took from that whole time was to shut up and do what I am told because I know fuck all. And so does everyone else, but they know a bit more than me sometimes.
I love that. For anyone listening, right, can you elaborate more on that? Because there's probably, I don't know the specifics, but I just know from the process that you went through that there was probably a situation that played out while she was in treatment where, for the first time, that conversation had to be had with you.
Hmm.
And was it in group or was it a one-to-one?
Oh, well, that had to be had with me a million times.
Okay, but do you remember the first time? Because
The
look,
very first time, let me think the very
because
first
because
time.
because pre-treatment, if someone said that to you, you'd probably say "fuck off," not to their face, maybe, or maybe you did, but you would have gone. You might have been polite and been charming, but secretly you would have gone "fuck you," right?
Mm.
But there's a point. There's going to have been a shift where you suddenly thought, "I need to listen."
Do you know what? I don't think I can remember the first time I was really told that, but I can remember the first time I really realized that.
And how did that feel to you?
Well, let me explain the situation because this was a turning point,
Go
and
for it.
you know about this one. Week 8, I'm on week 8, so I'm getting close to the end of my treatment. And when your parents come over to have that deep conversation, you get this thing called a wish list. So you
Mhm.
just ask them for like 5 things that you forgot or you didn't realize you would need. That would be really helpful.
And they bring them to treatment for you.
Exactly. So it's like more deodorant or a coat or another pair of shoes because you got all your shoes taken away because you kept writing on them or covering them with spray paint. Um, and one of my roommates asked for deodorant.
Is this, oh man,
This isn't,
without saying his name, but
he's left now at this point.
okay.
But this is a different guy. You have met him, but
Okay, all right.
you won't remember him because
We'll
you
keep
didn't
his name out of it. Yeah.
you didn't meet him too many times. But anyway, he accidentally, well, not him, his parents brought in spray deodorant, and somehow it was not found in the bag check. And someone the next day asked me, "Yo, Henry, you got any deodorant I could borrow? I ran out of deodorant." And I go, "No, but my roommate does, and it's spray deodorant, so it's not even unhygienic." And he goes, "What? You know you can get high off that stuff?" I go, "No, no, you can't." He goes, yeah, you can. So then I go to my roommate, hey, do you know? My roommate is like a drug lord, by the way. Like he's done everything under the sun. And I go, yeah, you know, you can get high off deodorant. He's like, yeah. I'm like, let me get high off some deodorant.
And this is week 8 of your.
This is week 8.
So you've been off drugs for at least 8 weeks at this
Yep,
point, maybe more before you went there.
yeah,
And you decide to fucking get
yeah.
on it on the old sprays, yeah?
On the old deodorant can.
Jeez.
And I do that, and I'm doing that for a couple of days, and I'm sat on my bed. I've got two deodorant cans in my hand, one empty, one nearly empty. And I just think like, and I realize that I'm back where I was before I went to
Yeah,
treatment.
yeah. And you're about to come out in a couple of weeks, you know?
And I realized I'm so fucked in the head. I've just got high off deodorant, man. And that's when I realized that I am someone who knows nothing.
Yeah,
And I handed myself in, and because I realized I need help and I need to listen to other people because I do not know how to help myself. And that was when I had that realization.
that's really profound. That's a huge, huge, huge light bulb to go off.
Oh, I've said a million times, I'm so happy that I got high
Yeah,
on deodorant.
yeah,
If I didn't realize that in that moment, in a place as safe as that,
yeah.
I have no clue where I would be today.
Well, you might have had to have make the realization on the outside, but it could have been like 2 years later or
Yeah,
20,
exactly.
or 20 years later.
It could have been. I could have had to gone through a lot more hurt.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, that's when it happened, and I think that's definitely the main takeaway. And I think, do you know what? I think the reason most addicts who can't get clean don't get clean is because they haven't had that realization yet.
I
It's
agree.
because they haven't realized that all you need to do to get clean is what you are told. And people have asked me who are my age or even older than me, like, how did you get clean? You're too young to be clean. Like, and I just say, I just do what I'm told, man. Because that's all it is. That's
Yeah,
all it is. You go to these meetings, you go to these rooms, you meet these people.
yeah,
Some are 2 days clean, some are 30 years clean.
yeah.
There are writings on the walls, and all you do is you sit, you listen, and then you do what you are told.
So your maintenance, your upkeep, like a lot of people the world over, man. There's just millions upon millions of people that are part of this incredible community. It's 12-step recovery, right? You're talking about
Mhm.
12-step recovery and the
Yeah.
rooms and support groups. And of course, in treatment, you are introduced to the concept of the group, the we, the community. I, on my own, this is where I come, this is where I get to me on my own. This is where my best thinking has got me. Then you have the aha moment, like I had a similar thing to you, where I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it. I need to shut the fuck up.
Hmm.
Like you, I need to shut the fuck up and listen. I know nothing.
Hmm.
And I need to listen to people who've walked the path before me,
Mm.
who know a little bit more than I do, and trust them and do a little bit of what they're saying. If I do a little bit of that, then I'll have a similar experience to what they seem to be having.
Yeah.
And that was my experience. And wow, amazing, Henry. You're a
Mm.
smart cookie. Well done for getting the realization so early. You know, it's just
Mm.
I'm always blown away. I always say it to you, young Mavericks, man. Like I always am so in admiration and in awe of you guys because I failed to do what you have done. You know, I didn't get it early,
Mm.
but I really, really fucking you're so badass, mate. You're an inspiration.
Thank you.
That's why I wanted to get you on. All right, so I guess your journey starts right there. I mean, it had started
Yeah,
already.
that's where it really starts.
Yeah, I mean, it had already started. You know, my journey started when I first started to explore, you know, and go down the wrong path. That's where the journey is a very long journey, and it has a lot of twists and turns, ups and
I'd
downs.
say the healing. mentally started before that, but the
Mm,
true recovery,
mm,
that's when my recovery journey started.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
when it really, because the thing is about things like that is I think people don't realize that just because you're day one doesn't mean you're day one,
Yeah.
you know, unless you actually are day one. Like, I mean, like, if it's a relapse. Um, because I'd still done tons of work in the clinic. I'd still worked hard. I'd so I still had made a lot of progress.
Mm-hmm.
But it was at that point when I really started to make proper progress.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that was my main takeaway from
And
the
and and
experience.
that was that's all you need is that's all you need. You're set. You're done. That's good. Do you know?
Yeah,
That set you up for where you're at in
yeah,
life, now. So that was over a year ago now, right?
yeah. That's over a year ago now.
So you celebrated a year in October,
September
September. So that's a few weeks ago. No,
months.
a few months ago.
Yeah, I'm about to celebrate 15 months.
Amazing. There we go. It's incredible, man. It's amazing. And you're 17.
Mm,
It's incredible. Really amazing. So, look, I'm going to end it up in a minute because we've captured a lot. But I always want to, I always feel like we need to definitely end it on something that I want to really present to people. So if anyone that finds this, it could be a parent and they've got a son or a daughter and they're like, freaking hell, there's so much in what I'm hearing that, anything you can pass on to anyone. Henry, you went to treatment, right? That was your journey. Not everyone ends up at treatment center. Not everyone has that opportunity to do that.
yeah.
But for a year, over a year, 15 months of coming out, you've maintained your path that you are walking
Mm,
a day at a time.
mm.
And I know, and I can vouch for you that you've made this incredible transformation um, from where you was at to where you're at now. You're such an advocate for recovery and that it's possible. Um, what's the sort of basic things that you feel you need to do to maintain this lifestyle that you've chosen?
Um, I need to talk to people about the truth, about how I'm feeling, about what's going on in my life. I need to ask for help. I need to I need to spend time with people. I definitely need to be social because although I may want to just sit in my room and watch TV all day, that's not that doesn't work really.
Mm,
Um, so I need to see people, but like I said, it needs to be like I need to be vulnerable basically. Um, for me, I know that I need to do the 12-step recovery regularly at this point in time. It's different for other people, but I know that if I didn't do that, I think things would definitely go sideways fairly quickly.
mm.
Um, but the main thing, I mean, it's like I said, I just need to do what I get told to do, you know. Yeah,
You
yeah,
listen to what you need.
mm.
And that's not just coming from other people, that's coming from your sitting with yourself and getting to know who you are and what you actually need, right?
I feel that something's wrong. I ask for help, and then I actually listen to the advice I'm given because something that happens way too often, and this isn't just in recovery, but this is in everything, is you ask for help, you get told and given advice, and then you don't do it.
Yeah,
You don't listen. What the only thing that you need to do is ask for help and then listen to the advice. Don't just ask for help for the attention or something like that. Ask for help and then do what you're told, man.
yeah.
That's
So
the whole thing.
yeah. So it's get real. ask for help, and then action. Take some action on it.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go, people. Henry, you're a legend.
Thank you very much.
What are you going to do with your life, bro? You're going to play the French horn. What do you want to do? What are you going to do? You could do anything, man.
Um, I I wanna I wanna help people.
Wow. You already are, man.
I want yeah, I just wanna help people, man. I want people to realize that they're like not alone and that things are gonna be okay and that we can do things like that. I want people to know that life gets better, you know,
Mm,
because I had and have had horrible times in my life, and I'm now so incredibly happy and so grateful. And I just want people to know and people to find out that life is a blessing. You know, that's what it really is. I
mm,
don't want people to throw away their lives, you know.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to help people out.
But you already are, man. You already do it. I've seen you week and week on, week out, come in and out of that group that you come into that I'm on.
Mm.
And you're like the wise owl, man. You are. You're living it. You've done the work. You're doing the work. You continue to do it. You're dedicated. Your heart's in it. And I think anyone that just heard what you said, I mean, that's coming from the heart, what you just said. I want to help people. So it's beautiful. So continue to just be who you are, continue to walk your path. And I have no doubt that you're going to continue to do what you just said. You're already doing it. And I just want to say I'm grateful that I've had the pleasure of having you on the groups and having you on here. That's why I wanted to get you on, man. So, yeah, thank you for your time, Henry.
Thank you very much for having me on. It's been really nice. It's not every day that you get to really look back
Mm,
at where you've been and what you've done and things like that. So it's been really, really nice. So thank you.
beautiful. That's all good, man. All right, pleasure, absolute pleasure to share the space with you. You've joined and we're sharing the space. All right, man. See you soon.
Yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you
Take
very
care.
much for having me.
You're very, very welcome, brother. See you in a bit.
Bye.